16-year-old Isabel Jockson is behind bars after allegedly stabbing another teen to death. The incident occurred at around 10 p.m. on the 20th of June 2022 at a Walmart located at 3458 Dickerson Pike in Nashville, Tennessee. An argument erupted inside the store when 14-year-old Malia Powell accused Isabel of stealing. Both girls were in their own separate group of friends at the time. The fire exchange spilled out into the parking lot and up to the WeGo bus stop just across the road. Isabel then reportedly asked Malia if she wanted to fight and then charged at her while holding a pocket knife. After stabbing Malia 7 times in the head, neck and back, Isabel fled the scene on foot before a man gave her a ride. Malia was taken to the Skyline Medical Center, where she died shortly thereafter. It's not believed that the suspect and victim knew each other. The investigators reviewed surveillance footage from Walmart and identified Isabel as the suspect. At just before midnight, Isabel was arrested at her apartment in Claiborne Street, and she was charged with murder. On the 23rd of June 2022, 21-year-old Victoria Tristan was taken into custody after a 1-year-old daughter drowned in a bathtub early this year. The incident occurred in January of 2022 at an apartment in Round Rock, Texas. Victoria told the investigators that she placed the child in the tub and washed her off with water running. A few minutes later, she said she walked away, sat on a bed, and began texting with a family member. She said as she leaned over to rest her head, she fell asleep for a few minutes. She said that when she woke up, she went straight to the bathroom, where she found her daughter unresponsive and face down in a bathtub overflowing with water. She removed her child from the tub and attempted CPR without success. Cell phone record shows, however, that Victoria had been texting for 5 minutes before an 8-minute gap in activity. Victoria then searched YouTube before calling 911 4 minutes later. The paramedics arrived at the apartment 3 minutes later, but it was too late. The medical examiner determined the cause of death was accidental drowning. The investigator said that Victoria knowingly, by omission, caused serious bodily injury when she left the child unattended in the bath. Victoria is charged with first-degree felony injury to a child and is held at the Williamson County Jail on a $300,000 bond. On the 21st of June 2022, 53-year-old Leaford Anderson was indicted for murder in the death of a tenant over a parking dispute. The events unfolded during the night of the 17th of September 2021, located in the 1700 block of Marjorie Street in South Memphis, Tennessee. Leaford, who was a rooming house manager at the property, got into an argument with his new tenant, 52-year-old Edward Brooks, over Edward parking on the grass in the front of the premises. Several hours later at 1:30 a.m, the dispute reportedly erupted a second time, and this time it became physical. It's reported that Lee struck Edward with a machete multiple times in the head, face, forearm and calf. When first responders arrived at the home, they found Edward's unresponsive body lying in the hallway in a pool of blood. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Leaford remains at the Shelby County Jail without bond. 21-year-old Zi Ching Yang has been arrested and charged with murdering his newlywed wife, 21-year-old New Pham, after she burned his passport. Events unfolded at around 8:56 a.m. on the 21st of June 2022, when the authorities responded to an apartment located at 909 Bollard Street in Altamont Springs, Florida, to conduct a welfare check. When officers arrived, they found Pham's lifeless body in a bathtub. She had a deep laceration to the left side of the neck, which had blood running down from it, and her stomach was pooled with blood. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Yang was arrested and he allegedly admitted to slitting his wife's throat. He told investigators that after she burned his passport, he could feel himself getting more and more angry, and that he could have stopped short of killing her. When asked why he did not stop himself, he replied, "That's not how he was raised, and that he's the type of person that always goes all the way." He said that he slashed Pham's throat in the hallway of the apartment. Pham then started crawling the wall towards the door when Yang grabbed her and took her to the bathroom. He then placed her in the bathtub, played her favourite music and held her hand while she bled to death, which he estimated to be about 10 minutes. The authorities said that at no point did he try calling 911 for help, and after his wife died he tried to clean up the scene. Police said they found a bottle of pink disinfectant and 2 rubber gloves on the ground in the main hallway of the apartment. Yang worked as a pool technician for Marco Polo Pools, and detectives questioned his employer Michael Rathel. He told them that he called Yang at 8:26 that morning and asked why he wasn't at work yet. Yang replied that he was upset with his wife because she had burned his passport. His employer then castigated him for not being a responsible employee. Yang then went on to tell him that he had done unspeakable things to his wife and killed her. Yang was charged with murder and tampering with evidence. He's held at the Seminole County Jail without bond. The authorities said that officers have been called to Yang's home 3 times in the last 6 months, including less than 2 weeks before the killing, when Pham called to report that her husband was doing self-harm and that she was worried for him. On that occasion, Yang was taken into protective custody and later released. In January this year, Yang was arrested for allegedly hitting his wife in the face, but battery charges against him were later dropped.